player. That's after Elena Rybakina in the Australian Open final to defeat the Belarusian this season. Well, this is what Baptiste had to say. I played her a few weeks ago and it was a close match. I had a better idea of how to play her and adjustments I needed to make. It was an uncomfortable situation for her, me serving and volleying, hitting a drop shot in one of the match points. It's not the easiest position to put her in, which is the plan. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We start with the football headlines on this Wednesday morning, and what a game in the Champions League semi-final first leg in the French capital last night as Paris Saint-Germain edged out a 5-4 victory against Bayern Munich before the second leg in Bavaria. 5 goals scored in a blistering first half, with Harry Kane tucking away a penalty. That was before strikes from Kvaratskhelia and João Neves. Michael Elise equalised before Ousmane Dembele converted after a controversial penalty was awarded. Kvaratskhelia and Dembele scored again after the break to give PSG a 3-goal cushion. However, a quick-fire brace from Dayot Upamenko and Luis Diaz saw Bayern get themselves right back into this game before the second leg at the Allianz Stadium. Meanwhile, Arsenal are preparing for their semi-final tonight. A massive game against Atletico Madrid, the first leg taking place in the Spanish capital. Well, moving on to other results from last night. In the Championship, Southampton and Ipswich Town played out a 2-2 draw. It means Ipswich now have a 1-point advantage over third place Millwall in the standings, and their destiny is in their own hands to secure automatic promotion back to the Premier League. Meanwhile, there was 3 games that took place in League One. Barnsley earned a 1-0 victory at Northampton Town. It finished Peterborough United 0, Mansfield Town 0. And at Stockport County, they suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Port Vale. Moving on to Rugby League news now, and Wigan Warriors winger Liam Marshall and fellow winger Dayon Sambu have both been ruled out for up to 3 months. Well, the 29-year-old Marshall suffered what the club have called a significant hamstring tear. That was during the first half of last week's defeat at Warrington Wolves. Meanwhile, the 21-year-old Sambu injured his knee in the home defeat by Casper Tigers the week prior and is expected to be out for between 10 and 12 weeks. Matt Pete's side, who have now lost their last 4 Super League games, are welcome at Bradford Bulls on Saturday. Moving on finally to tennis news now, and Hayley Baptiste saved 6 match points as she stunned world number 1 and defending champion Anya Sabalenka in the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open. Well, Baptiste, the 30th seed, came through 2-6, 6-2, 7-6, 8-6 in just over 2.5 hours to end Sabalenka's 15-match winning streak. She's just the second player, that's after Elena Rybakina in the Australian Open final to defeat the Belarusian this season. Well, this is what Baptiste had to say. I played her a few weeks ago and it was a close match. I had a better idea of how to play her and adjustments I needed to make. It was an uncomfortable situation for her, me serving and volleying, hitting a drop shot in one of the match points. It's not the easiest position to put her in, which is the plan. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We start with the football headlines on this Wednesday morning, and what a game in the Champions League semi-final first leg in the French capital last night as Paris Saint-Germain edged out a 5-4 victory against Bayern Munich before the second leg in Bavaria. 5 goals scored in a blistering first half, with Harry Kane tucking away a penalty. That was before strikes from Kvaratskhelia and João Neves. Michael Elise equalised before Ousmane Dembele converted after a controversial penalty was awarded. Kvaratskhelia and Dembele scored again after the break to give PSG a 3-goal cushion. However, a quick-fire brace from Dayot Upamenko and Luis Diaz saw Bayern get themselves right back into this game before the second leg at the Allianz Stadium. Meanwhile, Arsenal are preparing for their semi-final tonight. A massive game against Atletico Madrid, the first leg taking place in the Spanish capital. Well, moving on to other results from last night. In the Championship, Southampton and Ipswich Town played out a 2-2 draw. It means Ipswich now have a 1-point advantage over third place Millwall in the standings, and their destiny is in their own hands to secure automatic promotion back to the Premier League. Meanwhile, there was 3 games that took place in League One. Barnsley earned a 1-0 victory at Northampton Town. It finished Peterborough United 0, Mansfield Town 0. And at Stockport County, they suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Port Vale. Moving on to Rugby League news now, and Wigan Warriors winger Liam Marshall and fellow winger Dayon Sambu have both been ruled out for up to 3 months. Well, the 29-year-old Marshall suffered what the club have called a significant hamstring tear. That was during the first half of last week's defeat at Warrington Wolves. Meanwhile, the 21-year-old Sambu injured his knee in the home defeat by Casper Tigers the week prior and is expected to be out for between 10 and 12 weeks. Baptiste's side, who have now lost their last 4 Super League games, are welcome at Bradford Bulls on Saturday. Moving on finally to tennis news now, and Hayley Baptiste saved 6 match points as she stunned world number 1 and defending champion Anya Sabalenka in the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open. Well, Baptiste, the 30th seed, came through 2-6, 6-2, 7-6, 8-6 in just over 2.5 hours to end Sabalenka's 15-match winning streak. She's just the second player, that's after Elena Rybakina, in the Australian Open final to defeat the Belarusian this season. Well, this is what Baptiste had to say. I played her a few weeks ago and it was a close match. I had a better idea of how to play her and adjustments I needed to make. It was an uncomfortable situation for her, me serving and volleying, hitting a drop shot in one of the match points. It's not the easiest position to put her in, which is the plan. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We start with the football headlines on this Wednesday morning, and what a game in the Champions League semi-final first leg in the French capital last night as Paris Saint-Germain edged out a 5-4 victory against Bayern Munich before the second leg in Bavaria. 5 goals scored in a blistering first half, with Harry Kane tucking away a penalty. That was before strikes from Kvaratskhelia and João Neves. Michael Elise equalised before Ousmane Dembele converted after a controversial penalty was awarded. Kvaratskhelia and Dembele scored again after the break to give PSG a 3-goal cushion. However, a quick-fire brace from Dayot Upamenko and Luis Diaz saw Bayern get themselves right back into this game before the second leg at the Allianz Stadium. Meanwhile, Arsenal are preparing for their semi-final tonight, a massive game against Atletico Madrid, the first leg taking place in the Spanish capital. Well, moving on to other results from last night. In the Championship, Southampton and Ipswich Town played out a 2-2 draw. It means Ipswich now have a 1-point advantage over third place Millwall in the standings, and their destiny is in their own hands to secure automatic promotion back to the Premier League. Meanwhile, there was 3 games that took place in League One. Barnsley earned a 1-0 victory at Northampton Town. It finished Peterborough United 0, Mansfield Town 0. And at Stockport County, they suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Port Vale. Moving on to Rugby League news now, and Wigan Warriors winger Liam Marshall and fellow winger Dayon Sambu have both been ruled out for up to 3 months. Well, the 29-year-old Marshall suffered what the club have called a significant hamstring tear. That was during the first half of last week's defeat at Warrington Wolves. Meanwhile, the 21-year-old Sambu injured his knee in the home defeat by Casper Tigers the week prior and is expected to be out for between 10 and 12 weeks. Baptiste's side, who have now lost their last 4 Super League games, are welcome at Bradford Bulls on Saturday. Moving on finally to tennis news now, and Hayley Baptiste saved 6 match points as she stunned world number 1 and defending champion Anya Sabalenka in the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open. Well, Baptiste, the 30th seed, came through 2-6, 6-2, 7-6, 8-6 in just over 2.5 hours to end Sabalenka's 15-match winning streak. She's just the second player, that's after Elena Rybakina in the Australian Open final, to defeat the Belarusian this season. Well, this is what Baptiste had to say. I played her a few weeks ago and it was a close match. I had a better idea of how to play her and adjustments I needed to make. It was an uncomfortable situation for her, me serving and volleying, hitting a drop shot in one of the match points. It's not the easiest position to put her in, which is the plan. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Wednesday morning, and what a game in the Champions League semi-final first leg in the French capital last night as Paris Saint-Germain edged out a 5-4 victory against Bayern Munich before the second leg in Bavaria. 5 goals scored in a blistering first half, with Harry Kane tucking away a penalty. That was before strikes from Kvaratskhelia and João Neves. Michael Elise equalised before Ousmane Dembele converted after a controversial penalty was awarded. Kvaratskhelia and Dembele scored again after the break to give PSG a 3-goal cushion. However, a quick-fire brace from Dayot Upamenko and Luis Diaz saw Bayern get themselves right back into this game before the second leg at the Allianz Stadium. Meanwhile, Arsenal are preparing for their semi-final tonight. A massive game against Atletico Madrid, the first leg taking place in the Spanish capital. Well, moving on to other results from last night. In the Championship, Southampton and Ipswich Town played out a 2-2 draw. It means Ipswich now have a 1-point advantage over third place Millwall in the standings, and their destiny is in their own hands to secure automatic promotion back to the Premier League. Meanwhile, there was 3 games that took place in League One. Barnsley earned a 1-0 victory at Northampton Town. It finished Peterborough United 0, Mansfield Town 0, and at Stockport County they suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Port Vale. Moving on to Rugby League news now, and Wigan Warriors winger Liam Marshall and fellow winger Dayon Sambu have both been ruled out for up to 3 months. Well, the 29-year-old Marshall suffered what the club have called a significant hamstring tear. That was during the first half of last week's defeat at Warrington Wolves. Meanwhile, the 21-year-old Sambu injured his knee in the home defeat by Casper Tigers the week prior and is expected to be out for between 10 and 12 weeks. Matt Pete's side, who have now lost their last 4 Super League games, are welcome at Bradford Bulls on Saturday. Moving on finally to tennis news now, and Hayley Baptiste saved 6 match points as she stunned world number 1 and defending champion Anya Sabalenka in the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open. Well, Baptiste, the 30th seed, came through 2-6, 6-2, 7-6, 8-6 in just over 2.5 hours to end Sabalenka's 15-match winning streak. She's just the second player, that's after Elena Rybakina in the Australian Open final, to defeat the Belarusian this season. Well, this is what Baptiste had to say. I played her a few weeks ago and it was a close match. I had a better idea of how to play her and adjustments I needed to make. It was an uncomfortable situation for her, me serving and volleying, hitting a drop shot in one of the match points. It's not the easiest position to put her in, which is the plan. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Wednesday morning, and what a game in the Champions League semi-final first leg in the French capital last night as Paris Saint-Germain edged out a 5-4 victory against Bayern Munich before the second leg in Bavaria. 5 goals scored in a blistering first half, with Harry Kane tucking away a penalty. That was before strikes from Kvaratskhelia and João Neves. Michael Elise equalised before Ousmane Dembele converted after a controversial penalty was awarded. Kvaratskhelia and Dembele scored again after the break to give PSG a 3-goal cushion. However, a quick-fire brace from Dayot Upamenko and Luis Diaz saw Bayern get themselves right back into this game before the second leg at the Allianz Stadium. Meanwhile, Arsenal are preparing for their semi-final tonight. A massive game against Atletico Madrid, the first leg taking place in the Spanish capital. Well, moving on to other results from last night. In the Championship, Southampton and Ipswich Town played out a 2-2 draw. It means Ipswich now have a 1-point advantage over third place Millwall in the standings, and their destiny is in their own hands to secure automatic promotion back to the Premier League. Meanwhile, there was 3 games that took place in League One. Barnsley earned a 1-0 victory at Northampton Town. It finished Peterborough United 0, Mansfield Town 0, and at Stockport County they suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Port Vale. Moving on to Rugby League news now, and Wigan Warriors winger Liam Marshall and fellow winger Dayon Sambu have both been ruled out for up to 3 months. Well, the 29-year-old Marshall suffered what the club have called a significant hamstring tear. That was during the first half of last week's defeat at Warrington Wolves. Meanwhile, the 21-year-old Sambu injured his knee in the home defeat by Casper Tigers the week prior and is expected to be out for between 10 and 12 weeks. Matt Pete's side, who have now lost their last 4 Super League games, are welcome at Bradford Bulls on Saturday. Moving on finally to tennis news now, and Hayley Baptiste saved 6 match points as she stunned world number 1 and defending champion Anya Sabalenka in the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open. Well, Baptiste, the 30th seed, came through 2-6, 6-2, 7-6, 8-6 in just over 2.5 hours to end Sabalenka's 15-match winning streak. She's just the second player, that's after Elena Rybakina, in the Australian Open final to defeat the Belarusian this season. Well, this is what Baptiste had to say. I played her a few weeks ago and it was a close match. I had a better idea of how to play her and adjustments I needed to make. It was an uncomfortable situation for her, me serving and volleying, hitting a drop shot in one of the match points. It's not the easiest position to put her in, which is the plan. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Wednesday morning, and what a game in the Champions League semi-final first leg in the French capital last night as Paris Saint-Germain edged out a 5-4 victory against Bayern Munich before the second leg in Bavaria. 5 goals scored in a blistering first half, with Harry Kane tucking away a penalty. That was before strikes from Kvaratskhelia and João Neves. Michael Elise equalised before Ousmane Dembele converted after a controversial penalty was awarded. Kvaratskhelia and Dembele scored again after the break to give PSG a 3-goal cushion. However, a quick-fire brace from Dayot Upamenko and Luis Diaz saw Bayern get themselves right back into this game before the second leg at the Allianz Stadium. Meanwhile, Arsenal are preparing for their semi-final tonight, a massive game against Atletico Madrid, the first leg taking place in the Spanish capital. Well, moving on to other results from last night. In the Championship, Southampton and Ipswich Town played out a 2-2 draw. It means Ipswich now have a 1-point advantage over third place Millwall in the standings, and their destiny is in their own hands to secure automatic promotion back to the Premier League. Meanwhile, there was 3 games that took place in League One. Barnsley earned a 1-0 victory at Northampton Town. It finished Peterborough United 0, Mansfield Town 0, and at Stockport County they suffered a 2-1 home defeat at the hands of Port Vale. Moving on to Rugby League news now, and Wigan Warriors winger Liam Marshall and fellow winger Dayon Sambu have both been ruled out for up to 3 months. Well, the 29-year-old Marshall suffered what the club have called a significant hamstring tear. That was during the first half of last week's defeat at Warrington Wolves. Meanwhile, the 21-year-old Sambu injured his knee in the home defeat by Casper Tigers the week prior and is expected to be out for between 10 and 12 weeks. Matt Pete's side, who have now lost their last 4 Super League games, are welcome at Bradford Bulls on Saturday. Moving on finally to tennis news now, and Hayley Baptiste saved 6 match points as she stunned world number 1 and defending champion Anya Sabalenka in the quarterfinals of the Madrid Open. Well, Baptiste, the 30th seed, came through 2-6, 6-2, 7-6, 8-6 in just over 2.5 hours to end Sabalenka's 15-match winning streak. She's just the second player, that's after Elena Rybakina in the Australian Open final, to defeat the Belarusian this season. Well, this is what Baptiste had to say. I played her a few weeks ago and it was a close match. I had a better idea of how to play her and adjustments I needed to make. It was an uncomfortable situation for her, me serving and volleying, hitting a drop shot in one of the match points. It's not the easiest position to put her in, which is the plan. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports news headlines. I'm Alex Jack. We'll start with the football headlines on this Wednesday morning, and what a game in the Champions League semi-final first leg in the French capital last night, as Paris Saint-Germain edged out a 5-4 victory against Bayern Munich before the second leg in Bavaria. 5 goals scored in a blistering first half with Harry Kane.
And Havertz, and in come Gyökeres and Martinelli. So for the Colchoneros, it's a black in goal, and then a back four: Llorente, Pubil, Hanko and Ruggeri. 4 in midfield: Simeone, Koke, Cardoso and Lookman, with 2 up top: Griezmann and Alvarez. For Arsenal, it's Raya in goal, and a back four of Hincapié, Magalhaes, Saliba and White. The midfield 3 is Rice, Zubimendi and Odegaard, with Martinelli and Madueke flanking Gyökeres. Well, we're closing in on kick-off at the Stadio Metropolitano, where Atletico Madrid take on Arsenal. It's Champions League semi-final, and for Diego Simeone's side, they make 3 changes from the team that beat Bilbao 3-2 at the weekend. Out go Longley, Barrios and Soloth. In come Hanko, Cardoso and Alvarez. The 2 changes for the Gunners: they beat Newcastle 1-0 at the weekend. Out go Eze and Havertz, and in come Gyökeres and Martinelli. Right, well, we've gone past 8 o'clock. They haven't kicked off just yet, but they will do soon when Danny Macaulay, just looking at his watch now, sees fit. A lot of the camera lingering on the Frenchman Antoine Griezmann there, and quite rightly in the press conference. It was weird with Simeone in a way, because he just broke into this. Isn't he great? Like, isn't he lovely? Not the Stevie Wonder version, but you know. Anyway, I'm John Hogan. I'm joined by Simon Ball. They still haven't kicked off. This ain't going to be the game like we saw last night. It's going to be a very different story. Canny, pragmatic. Do you reckon?
Probably. I think that's what you'd associate with Arsenal. Although in this competition they've scored a few goals away from home. I think that's something like the 4th highest scorers in the Champions League this year. So maybe that's slightly unfair to tar them with that brush. But defensively they're very strong, and I think they will be able to probably, if they wanted to, put up a really stern resistance to Atletico Madrid attack. But they're a different team now in the last 2 years under Simeone than they were in the first sort of 15 under Simeone, when they were very pragmatic and very sort of, we'll grind out results. Now they are very much will take you on and will try and score more goals, and here they come on the attack after the first 30 seconds.
And it is Simeone who's won the ball. Little step over by Griezmann, a chance for Alvarez, and his shot's blocked away. That was a pretty good start then. Alvarez has gone from strength to strength. His move to the Metropolitano was taken in his stride. I was talking about Griezmann because he's in his last season, and I just think he's 35 now, but he's just awesome. I can't remember how many caps. 137 caps, just brilliant. And don't forget, France have been successful a lot of the while because of him as well. He's in his 3rd spell, if you include his loan spell with Atletico, and he flirted with Barcelona, and of course he started at Sociedad, but what a servant he's been. Yeah, Simeone waxing lyrical about him, and rightly so. For Arsenal, maybe more important players perhaps on the bench, if you look at Saka and Eze, but they're going to have to get on with them tonight. It's a good team, don't get me wrong, but it looks a bit workmanlike, really.
I think he's picked a team to do a job, hasn't he? They've got quite a few massive games coming up, Arsenal. Some of them they'll need to break down low blocks at home in the Premier League, like the one they've got coming up against Fulham. You'd think that would be a real test of their ability to break down a tough defence, so that's going to be a job for Saka, isn't it? Tonight, maybe more of a job to just work hard, stick in there, be good defensively, and that's probably why he's gone with Gyökeres up front. Martinelli puts a great shift in as well on the wing, and that probably is the reason behind his selection tonight.
Yep, I reckon so. Lookman there looking for a little bit of space he couldn't find. It was blocked off there, the Nigerian international. Of course, he's actually from Wandsworth, wasn't he? I remember him cropping up early doors for Everton. Pretty sure he played in Europe for Everton, but anyway, Lookman had gone on to greater things. And this is a grand stage, isn't it? Atletico haven't won the Champions League, and neither have Arsenal. Under Arsene Wenger, they were close a few times, I guess, but no time like the present. I thought, for me, the three best teams this season, Bayern Munich, PSG, and then Arsenal. But that was probably an early iteration of Arsenal. They've had injury problems, and it's not been quite so smooth. They've had problems at the back. Ben White, I think, is a weakness in this team today, and if Lookman can get on his bike and get after him, I think that maybe they can find something there. The ball at the back at the minute with David Hancock. And then he finds Ruggieri into midfield for the American Johnny Cardoso. Ball goes back from Lookman this time, playing a little bit of keep ball now. The ball goes all the way back to Oblak. And yeah, there are a few weaknesses really. I just suspect that maybe that lack of pace from Ben White might just be it.
I think tonight's a game where he's not going to have a lot of space to defend behind, because Arsenal are probably going to sit in a sort of mid-block. They're not going to push up that high, although they are at the moment trying to squeeze Atletico in their own half. But I think I don't think Ben White's defence is going to be really tested as much as many people think, because there isn't a great deal of space for him to defend behind, and he won't be asked to go forward a lot either.
Is Simeone now a little ball just to the edge of the box, but he can't find the onrushing Llorente. It was close though. It's a good effort that. And again, Los Colchoneros picked the ball up, and that translated, of course, to the mattress makers, and that's traditionally where it all came from. And their shirts, it's the ticking of the mattresses, isn't it? The red and white stripes, so all historical that, or roji blanco if you like. Red and white, a bit more obvious that. But anyway, here's Lookman on the ball. They made a good start. He stood up there by Saliba to come out to help White, and then the ball forced into the box, which was picked up by Declan Rice. Now Martinelli on a little scamper. Closed down well though by Llorente, didn't leave him room, but the ball breaks out right inside for Noni Madueke now, way over the halfway line. He cuts inside the first would-be challenger, then just pops the ball back to Odegaard. He now scrapes a left-footed ball in, across the face, picked up by Hincapié, and then he lays it back into midfield, more orderly now with Zubimendi on the ball. And it is Arsenal, and for the first time really getting a feel of it, Atletico have made the better start. The ball out right with White, then Madueke. Still got that bandage on his left wrist, but he makes a little break now. Ball chipped into the box, and it's two at the far post. They make a mess of it, really. Hincapié coming onto it. I think his own man put him off there, but it's a great opportunity. That brilliant play from Noni Madueke. Yeah,
sensational for Madueke. He beats Llorente on the outside, gets a lovely ball up to the back post, stands it up really. And in fact, it wasn't Llorente, was it? It was possibly Ruggieri who's got past there, and then the cross to the back post. Two Arsenal players go for it. I think Martinelli is not going to reach. He flings himself at it, and in doing so, he probably puts Hincapié off, and his volley's off target. Maybe Hincapié should do better, but when Martinelli's flying in front of him like that, with throwing himself at the ball, it would have been hard to keep his concentration. Yeah, absolutely.
But for Madueke, we're talking about maybe Ben White being attacked, but Ruggieri had nothing there. Ball just toe poke past him. That was really good stuff from Madueke, who I thought played really well when he's at Chelsea. He seemed to have a great understanding with Cole Palmer. Anyway, here's Lookman, ball onto his chest, and he took it well. And now he's got a little overlap, but he puts the ball to Alvarez at the edge of the box. He finds Griezmann inside the box now. What can he do? Little stab ball looking for Simeone, but he's well marshalled there. Hincapie's done really well there just to block him off at the right time. But again, promising stuff from Atletico.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the weight of the pass from Griezmann there. Just Hincapie too strong for his fellow South American, who tried to little kick out there as well. I think Simeone, as he was being manhandled by Hincapie, tried to sort of almost donkey kick him from behind there. So keep an eye on that personal tussle tonight, because that could be lively.
Absolutely. Well, Simeone was actually born in Rome, but of course he's opted to play for Argentina. Why wouldn't he? Anyway, here is Odegaard on the ball, touch back from Zubimendi, and now he's looking for a long ball over the top, and he nearly puts Martinelli in. So close to being great, that little intervention in the end, and then Llorente's done well. He played the ball off Martinelli, and that means it's a goal kick.
Yeah, as you suggested at the top of the broadcast, it's not going to be anything like the spectacular affair we had last night, but I think an interesting game nonetheless. A semi-final where just one goal could be absolutely vital. Last night, 9 goals, and it's only 1 goal difference between the sides. Difficult to say which team could take the most out of that, really. I think both will come away thinking they should have done better, but tonight I think straight case of first goal absolutely massive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, what was it, at 5-2, PSG probably thought that's it, done and dusted, really. But
it was heading the way of the Chelsea game, wasn't it? Where they'd just overwhelmed Chelsea late on in that to give themselves a lot of breathing room. But Bayern were made of much sterner stuff than Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely they were. I tend not to watch too much football. Football to death. I sickened myself off in my 20s at one point, watching every game that went. So I decided not to do that, but I had to watch that last night at home, and I absolutely rewarded. But sometimes you watch sport and you think, well, that's ruined it for me. How is any other game going to be quite as good as that? This standard was just phenomenal. Here we've clearly got a good game, and I'm watching a high level. Madueke there, good control from him. He's made a good start to his game. Some decent passing. It's more congested. Both teams very much belt and braces in terms of defending. For Atletico, they're in a 4-4-2. You couldn't be any more sort of rigid and be prepared to protect every facet you've got. So, wingers in theory have to beat potentially 2. Lookman is chasing back. He's trying to defend with Ruggieri.
So yes, they actually tuck into like a back 6, don't they? Those two wide midfielders drop so deep alongside the back 4, it makes it sort of string 6 across the back, and then you've got the 2 other midfielders who protect the edge of the box, and then the 2 forwards who are trying to just stop those passes through the lines. So it's highly organised, but it almost looks like a 6-2-2 when they're out of possession.
Yeah, it does, and it takes a bit of getting around, but Madueke done it once. This time Odegaard laid off a little bit, and he puts a crossfield ball in there. It's headed away by Pubil, and then Simeone gets on his bike, but beaten to the punch there. The ball won in midfield though by Koke. Brilliant play from him. Real skipper's knock there as then an errant ball in midfield, and we're talking about that standard. Not quite there this time as the ball rolls harmlessly out. That will be a throw-in for Arsenal. It's 0-0. It is exactly the game I thought we were going to get, which is cagey and difficult. Lots of hard work. Everybody having to do so much to try and break it. Is long ball this time, looking for Gyökeres. Didn't quite reach him. He's blocked off by Pubil. It wasn't a bad idea. I think for Arsenal, showed last year versatility. I thought they were unlucky not to beat PSG in the semi-final when they played long ball to beat the press of the PSG, who did all that closing down a lot more markedly last season. So I think they're not a one-trick pony, Arsenal, at all, as Alvarez there fights for the ball. Simeone there as well, but it's going to break to Griezmann at the edge of the box. He dabs the little ball inside, but didn't find Llorente, but the ball breaks kindly. Alvarez on it now, looking for a little through ball, try to dink it into the feet of Simeone in the box. Koke, another clever little flick from him. He's full of those, isn't he? As Hanko picks the ball up, and then it's out left to Ruggeri. Picked up again with Cardoso. And into midfield again. Griezmann looks like he's open. And the door was shut. Koke is. And the ball goes out right to Llorente. He steps inside. Gets a little bit lucky there. His ball was intercepted. Then he goes to the legs of Hincapié, who fights back. And, well, I think the Ecuadorian, he's a fine player. And he's the best left back at the club, isn't he? Clearly, Timber is a miss for Arsenal, and the pace he got. I think he was the best right back in the division in the Premier League. And so far, they've had a little bit of defending to do, but they've done it quite well. Yeah,
they've been fine in defence. They haven't, apart from that one chance created by Madueke, done a lot in attack. But it's early days. They're the away team, and they'll be happy with the defensive output so far, I think.
Simeone takes a long throw, but it's headed away, and now the ball breaks to Martinelli, and with the outstep of his right boot, flicks the ball forward. Gyökeres shows there that he's no Mbappe. You know, he's a great goal scorer. He's a big target man. He's not the quickest, and that ball over the top doesn't look like it's going to yield too much tonight. I think between Pubil and Hanko, they've got the measure in pace-wise.
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, I think that Arsenal are going to need to bring the midfield up, you know, get some supply lines into the penalty area rather than just try and play hopeful balls over the top like that last one from Martinelli, which gave him no chance.
Ruggeri now makes some ground and the ball into the box. Alvarez, great control from him, a little spin and a turn. What a shot, what a save from David Raya. He's a magician, isn't he, Alvarez? He's improved, you know. It brings the ball in so sharp, so tight there. Goes down a blind alley, comes back out, still gets a shot away.
Yeah, it was a good shot as well. Plenty of power behind it. Good direction to the left of Raya, but the Spaniard pulled out a great save to push it behind for this corner. First corner of the game, I think.
So an opportunity then. The flags are waving in the stands at the Metropolitano in front of about 70,000 people. Griezmann puts the ball in, Raya comes out. Does he really get a punch on that? Not much of one. Ball back out to the Frenchman, who puts a lovely left-footed curling cross in. That's headed away by Gabriel Magalhaes. Then Martinelli fights for it. Koke, does he win it? Doesn't matter. Ball breaks kindly, and now an opportunity. And, well, Gyökeres is doing really well there. He's got the ball back into the box. So a real chance here, and a shot comes in from Odegaard. That's blocked away. Wowee. Brilliant blocking, and now Lookman, this game getting a bit breathless, a bit shades of last night about that. And we were moaning about maybe Gyökeres' lack of speed. He wasn't a slouch there, was he?
No, he found an extra gear there, didn't he? And got a great ball in, back to the penalty spot. Odegaard just took an extra touch, I think, really. If he goes first time, he probably gets a strike away on goal, but by taking a touch and trying to just settle it down onto his right foot, that allowed the defender to make the block, and the chance went begging. But Gyökeres' role in that was spectacular, really. I didn't think he had that kind of pace in him.
No, we both saw. He just got bit. Maybe he was on his haunches before, but I think it's more in your head, isn't it? You know, he just seemed to have that split second. He was awake and the defenders were asleep. Anyway, long ball over the top, and looked like a foul from Simeone. And yeah, he looks a bit crestfallen, but quite an obvious one there. Although his dad didn't understand it, his arms out. We're looking at Odegaard's shot, and what was a great block actually from Johnny Cardoso, who got back. And then again, we're looking at David Raya, who I think he might be as good a keeper as of any team in the four semi-finalists. I just think he's a man on form, inspired. There's no Donnarumma, who you might have your arguments with. I don't think Neuer's quite the keeper he used to be, but anyway, we'll have Si's thoughts in a minute. It's Madueke now, he's on the ball, trying to cut inside, but Lookman going nowhere this time. This time Madueke's got a bit more space, puts an early ball in, looking for Gyökeres, and then header comes in from Nkapia, but he was shoving Simeone down, and so the referee's given that.
Best goalkeeper I've seen in the Champions League this season, Bodo Glimt's Nikita Haikin.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's very good.
Yeah. I didn't see Bodo. And that was incredible. You know what happened to them, isn't it? But that game with Sporting, we've seen some incredible stuff in the Champions League this season, and you know, one of our boys had turned into a Sporting fan just off the back of watching that Bodo Glimt game. Now looks out for their results, you know. But of course, the Gunners got the better of them, and now here we are, and it's going to be a real clash of styles in the final, one way or another. But Arsenal would have a great opportunity. Here they are. They've made a couple of good breaks. Clearly, Alvarez had a good shot saved, but you know, that Gyökeres cut back. He could have done maybe better with that. We've seen a great Madueke cross. I think it's 50-50 this game so far. And of course, they're away from home and holding their own. The Gunners here. It said about 70,000 people in the Metropolitano. As an obvious offside there. As the flag goes up on the far side, and Ben White then's got to chase all the way back. He wanted the ball sooner, didn't he? And it just didn't come, did it? But not his fault. Anyway, Mikel Arteta looks on, and I think a lot is wrapped up with success for Arsenal with getting players back. Like I said, they had injury problems, particularly at the back. You know, it sort of it derailed them really. Now again, it's, you know, if Saka was fully fit, then he'd be in. I'm not sure about Eze. I'd always find a place for him. I'd want to play with as much talent as you've got. And of course, the man who won the FA Cup, not quite single-handedly, but you know what I mean. He's got magic about him, maybe Eze, but he's only on the bench.
Yeah, I think you know, again, it's a reflection of his qualities and the matches they've got coming up. You know, you'd want him against Fulham. He's a game breaker. He's someone capable of something a bit special. They might need that against Fulham. I think tonight it's about working hard, setting up a position in the tie, making sure you don't lose the game, and going back to the Emirates. You know, potentially either ahead or all square, but you know, just working hard for it really, not necessarily needing flashes of inspiration. You know, they're not exactly going to be camped outside the Atletico Madrid penalty area for long spells tonight, are they? Or they are in their half right now. You know, Eze, he operates in those half spaces, or you know, when the defence is deep, he could pull off a bit of magic as he did in the last league game. This is maybe not quite the sort of game where he would get those chances. Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, here come Arsenal. On the ball on the left-hand side, Martinelli takes a look. He's a long way from the box. They all seem quite static, really. The game last night was just constant movement, wasn't it? Everybody, you know, control, and then the ball going forwards. There, Declan Rice, control, a couple of touches, ball goes sideways. Nothing wrong with that. That's how they're playing, but it's different, you know. And of course, now it's like a low block from Atletico, as Simon mentioned. They spread a midfield six. And there's not much room for manoeuvre. Martinelli on the ball, then the ball back on his inside. Zubimendi puts the ball into the far post, up goes Madueke, and I think he and Gyökeres got in each other's way there. He took a blow. I don't know where that came from, and it's a nasty one for the Swede. On the Swede. On his Swede, on his nose.
Yeah, they have got a corner out of this though, Arsenal, so it's come off the back of a Atletico defender who was sort of turning away as that cross came in from Zubimendi. I don't mind that. You know, Arsenal are going to have to put crosses in tonight, I think, to open up this defence. Obviously, that's a painful one there.
From his own man.
For yeah, a little slight elbow in the face of Gyökeres from Madueke, but they've got the corner.
Yep. Nice to pay there, biffing your own fella. But anyway, you'd be all right. There's no blood or anything. You saying, is there any blood? No, there's no blood, mate. You'd be all right. Anyway, he took a blow, and we've got to make sure he's all right. But
one thing about the Ben White selection for tonight's game, obviously, you know, Ian Timber, if he was fit, probably would have a great shout of playing anyway. But Ben White is great on corners at blocking. You know, his ability to block opposing defenders and the goalkeeper to allow Gabriel, Saliba to get clear runs and get first contact is it's almost legendary in the Premier League. You know, he's very good at just getting his body in the right place and stopping players from getting free run of the ball.
I think particularly in European football, out at the corner, because he's getting some treatment now, Gyökeres. They're very aware of Arsenal blocking off and impeding, which they deem an offence, and so they're desperate to stop Arsenal doing that. So Arsenal have got to be more savvy and a bit cleaner in that. Sometimes when we watch them, particularly the early start of the Premier League this season, it's like you try to watch 10 things all happen at once, aren't you? Really clever stuff. I think they'd taken over from Midtjylland and the Danes for being the best at set pieces in the world. That's a vain boast. Anyway, Madueke will take the corner. We're 0-0, and it's on the right hand side where he's going to deliver his ball in. So the left-footed in swinger. Let's take a look then, and I'm going to be watching White in there, if he's in there. Anyway, ball does come in. Griezmann heads away. That was a rubbish corner. We give it the big build-up. Not much happened, and then a ball all the way back to David Raya. At which point I give up. So we're halfway through the first half, listening to independent off-tube studio commentary. It is goalless, and it's going to be Simon now to take us through to half-time.
Yeah, Ben White was actually being held, as was Gabriel, by the same player on that last corner. It was Koke, who was almost like just arms outstretched, holding both players. They made a move from the penalty spot towards the goal. That's why the corner came to nothing, and that's why Gabriel was moaning to the referee in the next time the ball went out of play there. So maybe Danny Macchielli has got to wise up to Atletico's defensive antics on those corners, because that was a clear, you know, that was an more obvious blocking than anything Arsenal do.
I think he did it quite well, though. It's like, really, is it Koke blocking two off at the same time? Genius. But he got away with it, didn't he? And I think if you try not to make it look that obvious, I don't know how he does it, but do you know what? One manager who will have gone into it, the fine-tooth comb, and thought, how are we going to combat that? He's going to be Diego Simeone. He's just an incredible manager. I thought, having won the title with Atletico, I thought, well, where do you go from there? But he's stuck with it, and he keeps coming back for more, doesn't he?
Yeah, as Arsenal play it back now to Raya. Good save from Alvarez early on. That's his only real involvement in the game so far. With his hands anyway, he passes this one out to the right hand side. Saliba's closed down quickly by the aforementioned Alvarez. He goes back to Raya, who's scuffed clearance, just about reaches halfway. It's flicked on. Gyökeres doesn't give chase though. He had no chance of catching it. It's out for a throw in to Atletico Madrid. The ball boys doing the job at the moment with a quick balls to the players wanting to take a quick throw in there for Atletico Madrid. I watch them suddenly disappear if Atletico take the lead there.
Yeah, that's it.
Turnover in midfield, but lost by Arsenal. Right.
If you were watching like an historical game of football, this game it could be from the 70s, it could be from the 80s, it could be from. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing about this game which really gives you an indication that anything's particularly moved on in terms of coaching and all that. It's very ordinary, I would have said.
The home side in possession. Koke and Cardoso knock it back now to Hansko. And now Jana Black, the veteran goalkeeper, kicks it into the Arsenal half, headed down by Nkapie, but Martinelli can't gather. It's out for a throw-in. Yeah, the game has had its peaks and troughs so far. I think we're going through a trough at the moment. As long ball forward is going to try and catch out the Arsenal defence, but Saliba just quickens his pace, knocks it away, and it's cleared up to halfway. Good touch by Declan Rice to get away from Cardoso. He's forced backwards by the Atleti midfielder. Arsenal just holding possession on the edge of the box now. Rice in a triangle with the two centre-backs. Plays it forward. That's a good pass to releasing Capia. He's come off the left side, roaming through the centre now. Picks out a pass out to the right. Madueke is engaged as soon as he gets there, but retains possession for the Gunners. Plays a 1-2 with Ødegaard. Gyökeres in the centre-forward position, just jogs away now as Arsenal build up slowly. Madueke plays it back to Rice in the centre circle. Plenty have formed that familiar shape. It's 5 across the back now, then 3 in midfield with 2 ahead of them. As Lookman sidles over now to go 2-on-2 with the Arsenal players down the right. Madueke takes on Lookman now, shifts inside, then his pass to Ødegaard was telegraphed. Coming away with the pass is Hansko, the big defender. Plays a pass, a lovely ball into the feet of Lookman, who's surrounded by 3 Arsenal players, but he keeps possession well. He's got an overlap on the outside, he knocks it inside to Griezmann instead. He goes back to Lookman inside the box, nice turn, just keeps possession. Arsenal have got 2 backs and 4 back now. Atleti just probing on the edge of the box, looks promising this. Cross goes into the near post, but he's volleyed away by Saliba.
I thought that Madueke was pivotal in that for Arsenal, defending really well inside his own box then. Lookman dropped his shoulder, then he runs into Madueke, and you know, Gunners fans were moaning a bit, weren't they? Even when they were linked to Madueke, why do we need him? You know, and Waneri, he's on loan. He might be sold in the summer. Here's a chance, a shot. Well, a header comes in from Alvarez, but he got underneath that when he was always sailing over the top. Sort of half a chance, wasn't it? But no great conviction in that. Not a bad ball from Ruggieri.
Yeah, he's put it behind the Arsenal. Sorry, not behind. In front of the Arsenal defenders, and it's a good run across Gabriel by Alvarez to get the header in. But really, those type of headers, they have to be almost perfect to even be on target, let alone threaten a goal. And it never troubled Ryan, went clearly over the bar. Down the other end though, well collected by Gyökeres with a decent start to the game. He plays it out wide, and then Madueke falls in a heap. Doesn't get the free kick he wants. It's going to be a throw into the home side. His
touch let him down, and then he crumpled, didn't he? Because he realised he couldn't get the ball. The referee wasn't buying any of that. Subs are warming up, but I'm just looking at that again. Yeah, just a poor touch, wasn't it? And then Ruggieri didn't need to do any defending, but I can see what he's trying to do there. First touch to get round him, just a bit heavy from Madueke.
Atleti in possession again. Hansko to Ruggieri. Down the line he finds Koke. Then playing forward towards Lookman. In there quickly with Zubimendi. Nice back flick from Ødegaard. Madueke with a shot. Madueke with a shot that just goes wide. Coming in on his left foot, struck it really well, and Oblak was concerned by that, but it's a fraction wide.
Yeah, that was great stuff from Noni Madueke. You know, he pushed it twice, didn't he? He dropped a shoulder twice, beat one, beats another, and then he's got every right to have a go with his left foot, try to curl it round the corner. He had a long way to curl, but he's really not far off. It almost kissed the post on the way past, didn't it? But it's a good effort.
Atleti fighting for possession on the halfway line, but Rice wins it. Arsenal just beginning to take command of this game now, half an hour gone. They've had a couple of good chances, the Gunners. Likewise, Alvarez has tested David Raya. Gyökeres now, nice ball to Ødegaard, couldn't take it, and it's passed back to Oblak, who clears. Long ball downfield, it's not going to stick for Atleti with no presence up front. It's headed back towards their defence, where Pubil brings it down and plays a back pass to Oblak again, but once more he just boots it up in the air. Once more Arsenal are probably going to win this header.
They're not big, are they? You know, even Alvarez, what's he, 5'9" or something? Griezmann, he's not big. So they're the two strikers. There's no point in them going long. Griezmann almost playing like a right winger at the minute. But here come Arsenal.
Yeah, it's easy possession for Ødegaard to pick up. He assesses his options moving forward. Changes his mind about 3 times, then plays it wide to the right for Madueke. Madueke's looked lively so far with that good early cross and the shot just moments ago that flashed wide of Oblak's far post. He could be the game breaker here. Certainly Arsenal favouring the left more than the right at the moment as they again feed it to the England winger. Back it goes to Rice.
I mean, it's incredible how they set up defensively. Lookman now having a look out for Madueke. But you're right, they go to a 5, and then the 3 in midfield, but the 3 moves across.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty proper belt and braces down. You don't get much out of that. And then the 2 strikers come back to help out as well. They're not too far away. But 3 banks.
Arsenal are trying on the left now with Nkapie. Knocks it back to the corner of the penalty area where Martinelli waits. Brazilian feeds it back to the Ecuadorian. Still with Martinelli again. Arsenal just passing it around the edge of this defensive shape from Atletico Madrid with Saliba back to Gabriel, and he goes back to his goalkeeper. They're trying to entice some kind of press. Not really coming for Atleti. Front 2 will just try and make a nuisance of themselves. In fact, there's a real nuisance being made there by Alvarez, who's dispossessed Rice. Now there's a chance of on transition here for Atletico Madrid with Lookman. He plays it wide to Griezmann. He's only got 1 in the box to aim for. Lays it back to Simeone. Now it's in the penalty area, but the pass was too far ahead of Alvarez and goes behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, a bit sloppy from Declan Rice, wasn't it? I was thinking he was looking all right tonight. I just think he looks like a player who has sort of played 200 games on the bounce or something. It's like no breaks, no rest. He looks like somebody who could do with a week or 2 off, and he's not going to get one, is he? Because he's going to get a World Cup at the end of the season as well. But he just looks a shade off it. I'm looking at Madueke's shot again, and I'm not sure a Black's getting there. Pretty good strike. He's not too far away.
Just off the boil Rice then, yeah? He's got the ball at the moment, the England midfielder. Slips it forward to Odegaard. On the half turn, the Norwegian plays it wide to Madueke again. He's right on the touchline with 3 red and white shirts around him. He goes back to White, who pings a lovely pass out to the left-hand side onto the chest of Nkapie. From one full-back to another. Knocks it back now to Gabriel. 2 Arsenal centre-backs are really high at the moment. There's Rice just between them. Looking for a 1-2 here with Martinelli. Then he tries to reach one from Nkapie, but it was a loose ball from the left-back and it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he was saying he wanted it on the run, I think, there, rather than chopped in front of him, Declan Rice, who immediately, I'm sort of thinking maybe he's a bit tired or something, then goes on a long bursting, underlapping run, so good for him. But like I said, he's played lots of back-to-back football, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a bit tired anyway. He's an almost constant in this team. Not too many are there? When you think about it, you look at the rest of the team, apart from Gabriel at the back and Saliba, the keeper, then everywhere else they've pretty much chopped and changed. But Rice very much a name you pen into the team.
Hansko chips a pass out to the left-hand side. Run from Ruggieri is promising, but covered well by White. Goes back to Raya. They pass around the advancing Ruggieri now via Saliba and Zubimendi. That's a risky ball to Odegaard. He's lost that, and Atleti win it high again. Alvarez, edge of the box, collects it, looking for a shot here again. Edge of the penalty area, tries to slam it into a wall of Arsenal defenders, and they do the job, and then Alvarez has fouled Nkapie to give them a free kick.
Yeah, again, he's got great feet, hasn't he? Somehow, even when the ball's not perfect for him, he works it out with his feet. But in that time, the defence also got themselves set. Again, it was a little bit sloppy. Arsenal giving the ball away, and you know, Atletico so sprightly. You know, as soon as they win the ball, they've got players high up the field. They press high, don't they? And they're willing to work hard to take those opportunities when they come. But they couldn't quite do it that time.
Arsenal try and play out of defence again, but no route down the right, so they go back to Raya. Rice now tries to move things forward, finds Odegaard coming short. Still deep inside the Gunners' half. Rice again, carrying it forward, finding Martinelli on the half turn. He teases it wide to Nkapie. Gyökeres has made an unselfish run, but Nkapie didn't feed it to him. He goes back to Zubimendi. Some of the Athletic players just not bothering now, as certainly Alvarez was just happy to let Arsenal run past him, then let the next wave engage. He's taking a bit of a breather now, Alvarez. Good ball inside. The fullback is well read by Ruggieri, though. But Arsenal win it back. Loose ball from Cardoso. They go wide here to White. White held up there by Ruggieri, goes out for a throw-in close to the corner flag.
That was really sloppy from Cardoso, and having made a mistake, then he gambled on the ball going the wrong way, which was away from his own goal. He took himself out of the game, thinking, what are you doing? But anyway, he got away with it.
Arsenal still in possession, camped on the edge of the Atleti box. Go back to the halfway line though, trying to tempt that press again. Finally it comes, Madueke goes back to Saliba. Saliba, risky ball inside to Nkapie, who's quickly engaged by Koke, but he's got an escape route out to the left-hand side. He's overhit the pass though. Martinelli won't keep that one in, although the linesman's flag was a bit late to go up. Well, it was the referee, I think, who gave it in the end, and it's going to be a throw into Atleti. Yeah,
I mean, it looked like a decent ball, but the thing was, he couldn't go for it immediately because he realised, I think he realised he was offside, so he had to wait. And then eventually the ball had gone well out. But well, I don't know whether to be thrilled or not by. I mean, if you're an Arsenal fan, you're thinking, okay, you know, 0-0, and you'd probably take 0-0 back to Blighty, wouldn't you? But it's not exciting to watch.
No, I think they are there for the taking tonight, Atletico Madrid. You know, Arsenal have just got to show a bit more ambition. Maybe they'll get that from the bench. Here's a cross from Koke, which has come off the legs of Nkapie and out for a throw-in.
Yeah, I don't think we see Diamond tonight, but he's excellent and exciting to watch. But you know, Saka, Trossard, Jesus, and Eze, as we mentioned earlier, all on the bench. So he's got a lot of players to conjure with. Always for Atleti, when you look at their squad, they look thin on the ground. He trusts about 18 players a season. That's it. You know, and he goes to war with them. That's how Simeone does it.
Arsenal have lost it though. It goes back to Koke, edge of the penalty area, just drops it off to Griezmann, who's surrounded by navy blue Arsenal shirts. One of them was Odegaard, who pinched it away, and now he can break and get Arsenal moving forward. Madueke is split to the left-hand side. He goes out to Gyökeres on, sorry, Madueke is on the right, he goes to Gyökeres on the left.
He had to carry it then, Odegaard, didn't he? He could go running with that ball a lot further, you know, 10, 20 yards without a challenge, and then he passed it sideways and backwards.
Yeah.
They lose momentum. It's no good, that.
Didn't take responsibility, did he, the Arsenal captain? He passed the responsibility to somebody else because, I'm not sure why, only he'll know, but...
maybe, I mean, if you're not aware, but he had 5 yards behind him, maybe shot comes in from Martinelli, that's blocked away at source.
Yeah, more of a cross-cup shot, to be honest, but Atleti stood firm. Arsenal, though, have dominated possession in this sort of second half of the first half. Most of the game has been played in the Atleti half. We go back to Gabriel. Now inside to Martinelli, who's come off his left flank. He plays it sideways to White. Now Madueke again. He's got two Atleti players around him. Arsenal very easy to pass it sideways and backwards, but finding it a struggle to penetrate the lines. It's such a tightly packed Atleti formation. Now they get it wide to Madueke, who's done well so far. He goes on the outside of Lookman, beats him on the outside. Lookman despairingly challenges on the ground, wins a tackle, and tries to take it towards the corner flag. Now he finds a route out towards Cardoso, who calmly knocks into Ruggieri. His rather panic cross is going to fall to Martinelli, who scoops it up in the air. Now it's controlled by Zubimendi. Maybe just signs that Atleti are panicking in defence there.
Yeah, undoubtedly that. Just looking at the stats, Arsenal had 51% possession, not much between them. They haven't had a shot on target yet. Madueke went close. One shot that Raya saved was a good shot from Alvarez, not much between them.
Crossing from Gabriel is a little bit behind the intended target. Might drop to Madueke, but he was closed out by Hansko. And now there's a chance on the break here for Atleti. Good ball from Griezmann. Releases Simeone down the left-hand side. Sorry, down the right-hand side. He comes in on that right foot, chips it into the penalty area. Well repelled by Arsenal. Drops to Alvarez, though, the last man you want it to fall to. However, he can't control it, and Raya comes off his line to gather.
Yeah, it came off his toe end, didn't it? Alvarez there, just got away from him. I could see what Simeone was trying to do, trying to force the ball into a gap, but it didn't quite work out. Here's Gyökeres again. But this time runs into Llorente, who does have the legs of him.
Yeah, Atleti played across their penalty area now. Hansko Long high clearance up to halfway, just a hopeful ball, which Arsenal are going to nod back towards the edge of the box. Then it's almost a mistake there by Koke, but it falls for Cardoso. That looked a little bit loose there from the veteran Spain international.
But he didn't know where that was going, did he? He looked worried after he'd edited it, and then he realised it was going to go to one of his teammates. Lucky.
On the attack again, Zubimendi. Will it drop from him? He finds Gyökeres, who goes down in the penalty area, and the referee says penalty to Arsenal. It's a push in the back of Gyökeres after lovely work from Martin Zubimendi. And again, you say Koke's lost the ball there with a hurried ball forwards when he's trying to play it too quickly for his own team's good. And I think Koke might be involved in giving the penalty away as well.
It's a definite shove in the back. I don't think. I mean, obviously Simeone didn't like it, and he sort of calmed down. But we'll take another look at it. So, again, it's a long ball that starts it. We're thinking they've got two tiddly strikers. Why are they doing that? Who's all over him? Hanko all over the back of him. You can't do that. You can't do that. This ain't going to be overturned. No way. He is literally piggybacking him there. And so he probably gets a yellow card for that as well. And for Gyökeres, he'd take that, obvious penalty. But Simeone's going wild here, which he normally does. It's a decision against his team. But it's clear cut, isn't it?
I think that's a penalty, yeah. And I think the referee's got it right, Mr. Macchielli. Should be confirmed by VAR. But the question is, who takes the spot kick for Arsenal? Looks like Odegaard's got the ball under his arm there.
But he might just be holding on to it like a captain to keep his
for who though?
Out of the bubble for that long, because you know all the stuff's flying around, gamesmanship, this, that, and the other. So hopefully he said, well, it might be Odegaard himself might take it, but he might just be holding on to the ball while all the messing about.
I think if Bukayo Saka was playing this game, he would be the penalty taker, but it looks like it may be Gyökeres himself who's dusted himself down after being felled there by Hansko, who's ready to take the spot kick. So the referee blows the whistle. The Swede steps up, big moment for him, and he hits the back of the net with a lovely smashed shot past Oblak's right arm. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1.
Well, he didn't make a mistake there, did he? I think having seen that, you wanted to take all your penalties. That was emphatic, wasn't it? That's the word for it. Wow, and that nearly broke the back of the net. The Arsenal fans are loving that. And again, they just got sloppy, didn't they, Atletico? And it was like, well, why are you playing long ball forward? Because you know it's going to come straight back at you. And then Gyökeres got goal side. That's what he's there to do. I mean, in the end, Oblak guessed the right way, but you don't stop that, do you? And it just beat for pace there, absolutely.
Yeah. It was beaten for the sheer power, the velocity of the shot there from Gyökeres, who gave it absolutely everything. And Arsenal have the lead just a minute before half-time. It's his 5th goal in the Champions League this season in 11 games for Victor Gyökeres. Summer signing from Sporting Lisbon, Sporting Club of Portugal. Andrea Berta, the Arsenal sporting director, was spotted at a Galatasaray game this weekend, sparking rumours that the Gunners could be interested in Victor Osimhen. Many suggesting Osimhen would be a major upgrade on Gyökeres, but whether that was true and Arsenal are interested in Osimhen, or whether it's maybe just a way of G-ing up Gyökeres for this game, well, it certainly worked. He's had a good effect on the game already. He's won the penalty and he's put it away as well as the cross comes in from the left-hand side from Atleti. Poor header behind, and we're into stoppage time.
Yeah, I think that Gyökeres in his first season has disappointed slightly. He looks like a decent goal scorer without being a great player, with all due respect to him. You know what are his USPs? Well, yeah, he puts the ball in the back of the net, but he ain't super quick. He's all right in the air. He's like a good all-rounder, isn't he? That's like damning him with faint praise. The other thing is, who shows up in the Premier League anyway? You know, if you're doing 15 goals a season, you're probably a pretty good striker, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? What Arsenal win this season, if they win the Premier League, he's been a good signing. If they win the Champions League, he's been a great signing. At the moment, you know, the jury might still be out a little bit, but they're in the Champions League semi-finals, a goal up, and they're also top of the Premier League with only a few games to go. So
well,
in a great position. Exactly,
and he made the goal and scored the goal. So yeah, fair play to him. And he's going to the World Cup as well, isn't he? So there's lots of things for him to be excited about this season.
Long ball forward from Raya. Booting clear by Ruggieri. Can Arsenal make it 2 before half-time? They're on the edge of the box here. Ball through, though, was poor from Martinelli, straight to Oblak.
That's a shame. Capia made a great run. He should have been found, really. I don't think it's that difficult a ball. I just think it came off his foot a little bit funny. I think he just stabbed at that a little bit when he needed to be cool and calm. But anyway, yeah, it's a tremendous edge to have, and there the referee's blown his whistle. It is half-time. It is Atletico 0, Arsenal 1. We'll be back shortly. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. for the goal though. Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. for the goal though. Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It'd been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on. There'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. for the goal though. Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid 0, Arsenal 1. It's been a real arm wrestle the first half. Before we saw the goal, which was late on, there'd only been one effort on target. A great shot from Alvarez, brought out an even better save, diamond to his left from David Raya. For the goal though, Gyökeres got goal side, got brought down by David Anko. Referee pointed to the spot quite rightly. Gyökeres stepped up, thumped it in 1-0. It's half time at the Stadio Metropolitano. It's Atletico Madrid.
Right then, they've just kicked off for the second half. Atleti 0, Arsenal 1. The big one change at the break. Robin Lenormand has come on, and well, no favourites. So Simeone has taken off Simeone. I think he played okay, but it's a change of shape, isn't it? So I'm assuming that's the three at the back and wing backs. Then I'd reckon. Simon, what do you think?
I mean, it's a bit drastic, isn't it, to change the shape when you're only 1-0 down at home. I don't know. I've not seen enough of Atleti this season to really say without having a good look at it, but see, Duente's still on the rise. Yeah, I think he's still a back four.
He's centre back, Le Normand. Anyway, we'll try and work it out. Eventually, we'll get there. For Atleti, the ball does go back to Ruggieri, and he goes all the way back to Oblak. And then ball out to the left-hand side. They're trying to make some ground, but Lookman had come a cropper there. Don't think he brought himself down. The camera lingers on Ben White, so I suspect there's your suspect, who did just catch him there, like a delayed fall, wasn't it? And the ball goes all the way back to Oblak again, and there is Le Normand, and the ball outright. Maybe Pubil going a bit further up the field and playing in the position where we saw Simeone in the first half. I don't know, but anyway, I'm sure they'll be relatively flexible. Arsenal sort of nicked the first half, didn't they? There was really not much between them, but I think that Arsenal did a good job of containing Atleti. and forced them into playing long ball out to their two small forwards, which didn't really work out.
Yeah, maybe you know, I think if he has changed the shape, I'm still not entirely sure that maybe that's a way of remedying that sort of breakdown in connectivity, if you like, that just wasn't working for them. Certainly Arsenal, I think, had the upper hand from almost like the 15th, 20th minute onwards, and you know, the goal just rounded off what was a great period of control for them, where Atleti were pinned back and couldn't really threaten themselves. So
it is Arsenal then trying to make something work. There's a little battle going on there, but Gyökeres misses out. Here Atleti, just the edge of the box. That was I thought it looked a good challenge there from Gyökeres, fighting back. He can't believe the decision's gone against him, and we'll have to take another look. Tell us what you think, Simon.
He protects the ball well, doesn't he, Cardoso? And Gyökeres is trying to make a challenge, does make contact, goes down pretty easily, doesn't he, Cardoso? But the referee obviously felt that it was enough to give a free kick.
Yeah, just about. Not a great game, Johnny Cardoso, the man from the States, from New Jersey, I think. It is a free kick, and it's about 35 yards out, something like that. I don't think we'll see a shot. But David Raya doing his due diligence. He's got a three-man wall just in case. Anyway, up they step. What a hit that is. Wowee. Well, I just thought for a second that's going in. I tell you what, David Raya was having babies there as well, just thinking about that. But that ball hit at a real rate of knots. Loads of bend on it. It's not far away, is it?
Yeah, I think he's lined the wall up really well there. And you know, the three-man wall, all 6 foot plus, jump. You know, if that goes beyond the wall and curls round and finds the back of the net, that is an absolutely out of this world goal. He wasn't far away from conjuring it up there, Alvarez, but he was probably about a yard wide in the end.
When you watch some of these guys, the way he strikes a ball, there's not many who strike a ball like that, are there?
Well, he's watched Messi for donkey's years, hasn't he, for the Argentinian national team?
Yeah.
And he's managed to copy some of that technique, I think.
Yeah, picked up Patrico too, hasn't he? And Alvarez, 57 games for Argentina, 14 goals for them. He's no slouch. Like I said, he looks to me like he's improved. And, you know, playing with players like Griezmann, I mean, you learn a lot about professionalism, I reckon, there. And all about contribution as well. And like with the Messi, you know, I don't know if maybe if you'd just keep watching and see what he does and not be able to do it kind of thing. But because he's a bit special, isn't he? But yeah, any good things rubbing off there wouldn't be bad for you. Anyway, it is now with Atleti trying to play it from the back with Ruggieri. Goes back on his inside, and then Hanko back to Oblak. Koke is there. They look. It just looks like Pubil has gone sort of to play right back instead of and Normand is in the man in the middle as Gyökeres tries to put pressure on Oblak. Doesn't really do that. The ball sliced. As soon as he boots the ball away though, you feel like they've lost it, and then they've got to fight for it back. But Declan Rice then wins his little duel. And a free kick eventually is given. It's scraped a hand there, and I think Atleti wanted to play on. And again, Simeone's going mad. That's Diego, because his son now is got his tracksuit on. He's run his race today. This ball goes all the way back to David Raya, who boots it away. Again, I'm finding it difficult to get excited about this game. For Arsenal fans, they don't care whether it's exciting or not. They won. They probably don't want it to be exciting. Take that 1-0 back to England and take it from there. So, in a sense, that's not a bad thing, is it?
Well, yeah, I think Atletico have to force the issue second half. Arsenal can sit in and say, yeah, we're happy with 1-0. You know, it keeps the momentum for them going into the Fulham game. You know, they've got some winning momentum after what happened at the weekend, but they're just a bit vulnerable now to a counter-attack.
Here's Lookman now. He's played through and a shot straight to David Raya. The ball breaks through with Griezmann. Can he get his shot away? Oh,
Well, somehow a block comes in just before the keeper can get an hand on it, and I thought Griezmann was going to score there. Beautiful play there. Griezmann, he found Alvarez, and then in turn slips in Lookman. He was onside there, played in by Saliba, but his shot wasn't great. And then Griezmann, brilliant. And that final block from Gabriel was superb.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he's blocked this. So Raya parries the original shot from Lookman, then it comes back to Griezmann, who comes in, I think, trying to scoop it up. Anyway, here's the corner.
Yeah, to the far post, and then nodded away. It's going to be another one.
Yeah, corner from the other side now. Maybe they'll get another chance. Shows that replay of the Griezmann. How's he? He's hit him on the arm, but his arm's down by his side, so he has blocked it somehow there. But unlike last night's penalty award, which I still can't believe was given against Bayern Munich's Alphonso Davies, his arms were by his side. He took a deflection off his knee, but anyway, this one not controversial because it was not a penalty.
Well, the shot comes in then from Llorente. It's one of those corner kicks, and they're claiming a handball. They're all surrounding the referee. This could be a dodgy moment for the Gunners, and well, they'll want to take a look at it. Llorente is certain. Well, the corner kick, it was a ball floated. It's just outside the D. He says his shot hit an arm. I don't think it was travelling towards the goal the way he hit it.
Oh,
nah.
yeah. Yeah, it's hit his arm. It's hit his arm, and
but look
it's
how
not by his side. It's a penalty. It's going to be a penalty against Ben White. He's got himself in a horrible position. He's playing patty cake with the ball.
Does it hit another part of his body first? He's trying to get his arm out of the way. His arm's not in a natural position. It's somewhere down by his knee. The ball is not going into the back of the net, but they're asking him to take a look.
Yeah, it's a penalty. I'm afraid it's bad luck potentially for Arsenal and Ben White, but I think in the atmosphere of what happened last night, you know, this is the sort of, in the Premier League, there's probably a little bit more wriggle room for the referee not to give that, the VAR official not to get involved, but I think in the Champions League that is a penalty 10 times out of 10. It's actually no worse than the one that was given against Bayern last night.
Well, all up to the referee, and he, well, do you know what? I suppose the rules are the rules, aren't they? Dennis Higler, the VAR referee, had decided he needed a look, and it's a penalty. Llorente says to Griezmann, the shot was going well wide. I think it might have scraped off his knee first onto his hand, but they're giving it. And all it'll say is handball. It's a terrible decision, I think. I think the laws need to be looked at if that's given as a penalty. I think it's an accidental handball which doesn't affect anything, and with the shot that's going wide, it's not deliberate. It's not anything. But anyway, it's a penalty. That's what it is. So, right, Julian Alvarez will take it, and well, we were talking about how he hits a ball, and then now he's got to hit one past David Raya. Well, if it's anywhere near as good as the Victor Gyökeres penalty, then it's going in. But we'll wait and see. 56 minutes on the clock. And Alvarez then right-footed. David Raya just hopping about in his line. The shot comes. Wow. Wow, you do not save that. You do not. He's still hopping about in his line when that one whistles past him right into the back of the net for 1-1.
Yeah, just as emphatic as Gyökeres is. Same corner pretty much as well, of the same goal at the Metropolitano, and it gets Atleti right back into this tie now, isn't it? You know, it would have been a little bit sort of quiet, a little bit sort of subdued, that dressing room at half-time. I'm sure Simeone came in and read the riot acts in certain ways. He made a change as well. That set the tone. They've come out, you know, a little bit better in the second half. Had that chance where you know, Griezmann hit the body of Gabriel, and it seemed easy to score, but now they get the chance from a penalty and they don't make the mistake of missing it.
No, he's absolutely planted that. It's a great hit, that, isn't it? Ball rising as it hits the back of the net.
Interesting that Raya didn't commit. He stayed still. He was hoping that Alvarez might try and go down the middle, try and be too cute, but he just went with power to the goalkeeper's right, and because he didn't move, he had no chance. Yeah,
I don't know what homework he'd done there. I don't mind goalkeeper not moving if he thinks that he's a stuttered stepper. You know, usually if you don't move, then you're putting them under massive pressure and they can stuff it up. But he
he seemed to have his head down, normal run up and smashed it in. So we're going to see a change now as Odegaard goes off, and I'm always excited to see Eberechi come on. I just think he's a top player. He's world class in my opinion. Like you said, maybe maybe they're thinking this wasn't the game for him to play 90 minutes. You want something a bit more solid, if you like.
Yeah.
But I'm pleased to see him play now. I think you always want to see the best players.
Yeah, I don't think Odegaard's been particularly good either. You know, he's been definitely the weakest of the three midfielders for Arsenal. And if you're going to make a change there, then obviously it's more of a like for like Eze for Odegaard. And the form he's in, having scored at the weekend, and bring him on, and maybe he'll get you another goal.
Maybe now he will think he didn't make his move to Arsenal to be sat on the bench. The hero of Wembley last season at FA Cup final, first time the Eagles had won anything. Brilliant, but here now revitalised with the crowd bouncing. The Llorente ball is inside to Alvarez. Here come Atleti then. What have they got? Well, they've certainly got a bit more vim and vigour in their play now. They're popping the ball about a little bit. Alvarez scraped out to the left-hand side. Ruggieri then to Lookman. Only matter we can make sure that they're kept honest. Alvarez trying to find a way through the middle, but he doesn't with a ball like that. Saliba then a good out ball. Gyökeres on his outstep, and then a really strong challenge in the middle of the park, and that should be a yellow card, I would have thought. Pubil then absolutely destroys Martinelli. Got to be a yellow card, surely.
Yeah, he's just sort of lent on him a little bit, and he's crumpled in a heap there. I think that's just the physicality of Pubil getting the better of Martinelli. It was one of those, maybe it's a yellow card on another day, but if the referee gives that, then he perhaps give another 4 or 5 before the end of the game.
Well, I thought it was a yellow card there, but he didn't give it. Anyway, he knew about that. Might be run over by a lorry, wasn't it? That challenge anyway. Saliba not going to get in the end of that ball. So Declan Rice again, I think had given the ball away. I think it was him. He's got the captain's armband on now with the skipper Odegaard being changed. We're closing in on the hour mark, and one apiece. It's as cagey as ever. We thought it was going to be tight. I talked about an arm wrestle in the first half, and that's certainly the case. We're definitely getting the game that we thought we were going to get, aren't we? And you can never write off Atleti. They just find a way, don't they?
Yeah, I think they're just going through a bad moment at the moment right now, Arsenal. So this is a real important phase for them to try and just resist Atletico Madrid, all this possession, all this sort of movement they've got going for them now. And if they can survive this and maybe hit back themselves later on, then it'll still be a good night for them. But you just kind of worry that Atleti got some momentum now. The crowd are right behind them. They've got fresh legs on the pitch, and Arsenal struggling to contend.
Alvarez rolling around on the ground, and Danny McAlee just saying, no, I didn't see anything. It looked to me like Declan Rice had tagged him. Atleti put the ball out because Alvarez is important, and he clearly in a spot of bother. Now the referee is claiming there was nothing doing there. Either there is or he didn't see it, but let's take a look. He got caught late, but there's not much in that, is there? Maybe it's just the way he slid.
Oh yeah, I mean it's one of those where who's actually made the foul there? Has Declan Rice fouled him, or has he fouled Declan Rice? Both go down after the contact. The ball is not in possession of either player at that point, because essentially Alvarez is tackling to try and keep the ball. I think it's debatable who's made the foul, to be honest. Obviously one player stayed down and trying to win a free kick. The other one's got up and carried on playing, so...
Yeah, we see the penalty again, the celebrations, all that bog roll. I knew it was going to come in handy. For some reason, they all had a toilet roll at the start of the game, didn't they? Now they've all just thrown their toilet roll on. So we got a load of bog rolls on the pitch. Brilliant. God, that's so old school, isn't it?
Yeah. I remember watching games at Atletico Madrid's old stadium, the Vicente Calderon. I think Man United played there in the Cup Winners' Cup in the early 90s with Bernd Schuster playing for Atletico Madrid, and the bog rolls would come down from the top of the stands, all sort of flowing onto the pitch when they scored.
Yeah, brilliant. Proper old school, that, isn't it? Anyway, here a chance. Lookman then on the half turn. What's he got? Gets the ball out of his feet, finds Ruggieri. A chance for him to cross. His cutback is decent into the box. Lookman then finds Griezmann, and he's hit the crossbar there. Just a floated little ball, a chip that beat the keeper. The ball back in. Griezmann with a strike, and that's gone. I think deflected out for a corner. Yeah. Wow, well that was close. I wouldn't be begrudging Griezmann a goal in this game. He's a top player still. Take another look at what happened to him. He was off balance with that shot, and he still managed to beat the keeper.
Yeah, he's tried to loop it towards the top corner, and David Raya's timing of his jump, he's never going to reach it. Comes off the corner of the corner of post and crossbar and away to relative safety before another cross goes in, and Griezmann volleys it seemingly toward the target before the deflection took it wide.
So now the crowd really bouncing at the Stadio Metropolitano, and they've got a corner kick for Atleti. What can they do with it? Anyway, the ball aimed at the near post where Griezmann was making his move, but ball defended fairly well. It will be another corner kick, I think. So they're all still in there. The Normand in there trying to mark the keeper. It comes in, and David Raya gets hands to it, shoves it over. Succession of corner kicks here under pressure. They're pretty good at set pieces, aren't they? But I'm sure that Atleti would have been working hard. That might have gone straight in.
Yeah,
That being a goal
from Alvarez, great corner. See if Griezmann could produce something special like that from the other side.
Yep, and he's usually pretty good. So right-footed in, swinging. In comes the ball. It's a good delivery. Great defensive header from Gyökeres. The ball breaks to Llorente. And now Griezmann again chips it into the box. It's a chance here for Lookman, and he has a wild lash at that, the man from Wandsworth. And the ball still coming down.
Yeah, they're winning too many duels, shall we say, in the Arsenal box, really, for Mikel Arteta's liking. You know, it's a cross that's come in. It's been flicked on towards Lookman at the far post. He's got a clear sighted goal from an acute angle, and he messes up his shot. But moments ago, of course, we had the two shots from Griezmann in the space of a few seconds, and you know, the tide has definitely turned in this game. I think it turned just before the penalty award with that chance from Griezmann that was blocked by Gabriel. But really now, there's just nothing coming back from Arsenal. It's all Athletic.
It is, and then the free kick as Cardoso goes down, caught by Zubimendi, who shakes his head. What, mate? Didn't see there's too much in that. I think he seems to have a habit of flinging himself to the ground, doesn't he, Cardoso? Anyway, the ball goes all the way back to Jano Black. And the Gunners need to regroup here, don't they? They've just lost their way. They'd taken their skipper Odegaard off and brought Eze on. That's a good chest from Eze. Now he's at the edge of the area. Tries to beat his man, slip on the inside of him, but the ball taken off him by Le Normand. And it will be a throw for Arsenal. So, well, they've broken the little jinx there. Why are we looking at the referee? What's going on here? Is there something we've missed? I don't know, apparently not. As the throwing is taken, none the wiser. Throwing is taken, Arsenal have it back, it goes all the way back. That's really negative from them. All the way below the halfway line. And with Gabriel, now they get a little bit lucky. Hincapié's on the ball, but he then is chased back. Martinelli, a little pirouette from him. But they lose the ball. Looks like Atleti have had a heart-to-heart at half time, and now they're winning a lot more, the 50-50s, and sort of they look more like them. First half, you could argue that Arsenal was slightly the better. Second half, Atleti have shown the quality that they've got, but here come Arsenal down the left hand side. Gyökeres done well to hold on to the ball. It's got really tight and congested, but they've done well with Zubimendi. Now the ball out to Madueke. He's got the overlap in Ben White, can't find him. And then the ball back with Declan Rice, who's done fairly well. Probably playing a little bit more deeper than he would like. But it's on the ball. It's a decent looking ball to Madueke. Blocked off though, Ruggieri. As soon as you tangle with Ruggieri, you've lost, really. He's such a savvy operator.
I think Trossard's coming on for Arsenal shortly, and also Bukayo Saka.
Well, there we go. And certainly a bigger gun. I think that Noni Madueke played well, particularly first half, but the powers have been waning. Jesus is well going to come on. So, yeah, maybe Gyökeres going off as well, but wholesale changes then. I reckon Madueke, Gyökeres and Martinelli as Trossard comes on. So, yeah, I mean, really freshening things up there.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose he's got to with one eye on the Premier League game. You know, the game against Fulham, it's massive. They can go 6 points clear. Manchester City really cranked the pressure up on Pep Guardiola's side. This is only the first leg. Even if they were to lose this one 2-1, you know, they'd still probably say, okay, we can recover it in the home game next week.
I mean, the other thing, they're pretty good subs, aren't they?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think Madueke was having a good game first half. He got quiet in the second. I think Gyökeres has had a good impact overall, but you know, if you're going to make changes, probably there would be the players in the forward positions, and then Trossard's just come on and lost the ball.
Yep, and here Alvarez to Griezmann. Griezmann ball across, looking for Lookman, doesn't find him, and that's a bit of a waste. Griezmann trying to win the ball back now, but Arsenal have it back momentarily. We are, though, 3/4 of the way through this game, listening to independent off-tube studio commentary. And it is Atletico de Madrid that won, Arsenal 1, and Simon had to take us to full-time.
Cheers, John. Yeah, as Gabriel Jesus gets his first touch, controls it well in a tight area and knocks it back. It's slightly short there for Declan Rice, but he gets there nonetheless and plays a simple pass back to the Brazilian, who shields the ball again. Now tries to take it on down the right-hand side, fizzes it into the path of Bukayo Saka. He's quickly closed down. There's a foul there on an Atleti player. Ref says play on as the hosts have the ball with Alvarez. Ref still motioning play on here as two Atleti players are on the deck. Finally they get up. The home side still have the momentum. Playing it out towards Llorente on the right. He goes back to Pubil, who's essentially playing as a right back now. I think shifted there after Lenormand came on at the break. Hansco passes back to a Black. And Arsenal not pressing here as the ball's kicked away by the goalkeeper onto the chest of Griezmann and lost by Alvarez. Eze tries to take on the Argentinian but loses it, and Atleti steal it back through Koke, who's got the ball again at his feet and playing short passes with Cardoso. In terms of the passing stats, these two sides pretty much dead level now.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking about that change that Simeone made. Very ruthless, taking his son off. I don't think they're any better for it. I thought Simeone showed up better than Llorente, who is taking his position essentially. Maybe chance for Llorente now, though.
Yeah, as he bursts through midfield and then stops and waits for the support to arrive on the outside, which comes eventually in the form of Pubil. Llorente is telling Pubil to make that run further forward as he goes sideways instead. Koke back to the feet of Lenormand, now out to Hansco.
There's a chance there. I thought the ball should have gone. Llorente's pointing exactly where it should have gone. Pubil was going to run around the back and he was in acres of space, but Alvarez didn't find him.
Yeah, he's kind of conducting play, isn't he, out on that right side. Llorente pointing for his teammates and where to move and where to pass to, but nobody seems to be taking any notice of it. Atleti have it again with centre-back Hansco, who tries to slide it out to the left-hand side. Good ball to the feet of Ruggieri. He's tracked there by Saka. Now into Alvarez. Alvarez chips it into the penalty area, heading clear by Gabriel, but collected by Koke. Quickly out of his feet again, out to the right for Pubil, ex-Barcelona player. Now it's back to the halfway line. They come. Really got a stranglehold on possession at the moment, Atleti. Mikel Arteta making gestures for his team to get closer to the team in possession. But they still have it at the back now with Cardoso. Patiently building up via the central defender, Lenormand. And Pubil's pass is cut out for a throw-in by Trossard. And he takes a throw-in quickly himself. Atletico Madrid, who've lost 7 of their last 9 games, if you count the Copa del Rey final penalty shootout, lost to Griezmann's former club, Real Sociedad. So they're not in great form overall, but in the Champions League they have been going very well. Arsenal really up against it now with less than 20 minutes to go. Ball cleared out for a throw-in by Gabriel. He's complaining to the referee here that it should have been Arsenal's throw. Linesman not in agreement. So let's go back and try and change the points of attack. Still with Lenormand. He's very slow to release the ball. Now Koke tries to get them moving. Hansco out to Ruggieri again. Slipped Bukayo Saka there. Gets back to his feet quickly, but Ruggieri wasn't in a position to take advantage. Now Koke drifts to pass out to the right. Pubil plays it back again. It's very patient this from Atletico Madrid. They've gone back a few yards here, but then they give it away with a loose pass from Lenormand, who dives into a challenge there. Arsenal want a free kick. Referee not interested as Atleti come away with the ball. Griezmann looking down the centre of the pitch, slips a pass to Alvarez between the lines. He's got movement off the right. It's Llorente now up against Gabriel in the penalty. He tries to find a ball towards Lookman. Lookman's got a chance of goal. Oh, it's saved by Raya. Brilliant save by the goalkeeper, but Lookman has to hit that one either side of the keeper.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great opportunity. It's a lovely ball into Lookman. I just think that if anything, the ball's almost too good, and then he can't really get it out of his feet, so he can't get much backlift on it, and then he's stabbing it forward. He gets plenty on it, but it's straight down the middle. I think it's sort of, if he could have stepped onto it, he's probably scoring there. But it's a close run thing, and yeah, they were very patient. There's players down everywhere at the minute. Alvarez down again, and all of a sudden they're slow playing it, Athletic.
Doesn't do his team any favours when he stays down. He did that before, didn't he, Alvarez? Athletic had to put the ball out of play when they probably wanted to go on the attack, but the momentum's all gone now, because when they realised that their centre forward was still on the deck, they just kind of gave up on the attack.
He's very ginger now, doesn't he, Alvarez? He's not exactly moving well.
There's Llorente out on the right, knocks it back to Pubil. Still in the ascendancy following the equalising goal from the penalty spot some 18 minutes ago from the aforementioned Alvarez. Earlier on, Gyökeres won and scored the penalty just before half-time to give the Gunners the lead, but it feels like a long time ago now. Here's Koke again, deep in the midfield, slips it wide to the left for Ruggieri. He's got an option to feed it into Lookman's feet. Lookman now attacking the last defender, goes on the inside, then he falls over. The referee not interested in any penalty claims from the Nigerian, and it's cleared by the Gunners.
Well, you rightly said he fell over. He did fall, and there was nobody really near him, and it was such an obvious thing then that I'm sure even in the stadium, and even Diego Simeone probably said no words about it. Yeah, we take a look at that shot. The ball just caught in his feet, wasn't it, really, for Lookman, that shot that was saved by David Raya. Still wasn't a bad attempt, and Simeone can't hide how he feels about that. He looks like he felt he should have done better. But he's very emotional, isn't he? So he won't be hiding what he thinks about things.
Atleti, well, Alvarez is still down here, so the referee is having to deal with Simeone gesturing at him to stop the game, but it's not a head injury, so he's not going to be doing that. Atleti down to 10 briefly here as Alvarez is not taking part in the game. Arsenal continue down the right, but then they lose the ball through Rice's loose pass. And Atleti put it straight out of play, so Alvarez can either get treatment or go off.
Yeah, and then it's all that thing, or pressure on Arsenal then to put the ball out, but why would they, of course? And then it's just bad blood after that. And anyway, Declan Rice, again, second or third time today, sloppy. Eberechi fell on Alvarez, and that's fell on the back of his leg, which hurt him.
Yeah, that could be some ligament damage there for Julian Alvarez, and that could be him out the second leg, which is in 6 days' time.
Yeah, it's certainly not a big turnaround time. Alex Baena gets his chance, but you could see tonight, I mean, his penalty was good, wasn't it? But his movement, the way he hits a ball, he's a bit special, Alvarez, and they're certainly going to miss him.
Yeah, we'll miss him for the next 13 minutes of this game, and I'm sure they'll give him every chance of being fit for that second game. Maybe strap him up if needs be to get the required minutes out of him in London. But the aggregate score is level at 1 apiece now, and it's Arsenal with a chance to attack here. They've got numbers forward. Declan Rice, better pass this time out to the right for Bukayo Saka. He's got White overlapping. Saka plays it inside, then there's a foul there, as the referee says, as a third penalty in the game. He's given Arsenal a third penalty for a foul on Eberechi Eze. This one could get overturned by VAR though.
I think Eze does that thing where he just gets goal side just the right time, and that means that he's getting kicked. You know, there's not much in it, and it's clever play from Eze. That's how I see it in my mind. That's what I think I've just seen. But obviously we get to...
I see yellow card coming out as well.
Well, they moan a bucket, don't they? And yeah, so anyway, and why bother? Because it's all going to get sorted out anyway, you know. They will take a look. If it's wrong, it's wrong. I don't really understand why they're all going mad, but he just gets there first, Eze, for me, and then he gets stepped on. Did he get stepped on? You know, that's the thing. Right, so we take another look at it. Yeah, it does. Do you know what? You've got to get to the ball first. And if you're second and you tread on somebody, it's a foul.
I've not seen an angle that's conclusive yet that he actually got stepped on.
I think he did. I don't think there's much in it. But anyway, VAR is taking a look. We're going to see a lot of different angles. Hanchko is saying I did or I didn't or I did. And Eze, who is up now, he's saying, well, you know, you did. But I don't know where they go with that argument. Well, I didn't. Yes, you did. But they're going to have to see it from lots of different angles. Simeone, of course, is refereeing it and putting his square in the air, saying, take a look. And now there's massive pressure on Dennis Siegler and Danny Macaulay, VAR ref, and our referee. You know, the referee had given it, and they're going to have to give compelling evidence. So they'd have to call him across, given that he's given it.
He'll be asked to look at it again.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't. From what I've just seen, if he deems there was contact and he gave it, how could he ungive it? If
because there was no contact. I think replay. I've not seen a replay that suggested there was any contact.
I've seen. Well, the replays I've seen, it's looked to me like he just caught him.
No, he didn't.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? And they must have all sorts of angles to look at.
Yes. I mean, we've only seen 2. Maybe 3 if you count a long distance one, which was the original angle you get. They're going to have to come up with something better, maybe even a freeze frame here to prove that there was no contact. I mean,
yeah, I think he definitely. I think he's definitely scraped studs down the top of it. I don't think it's heinous, but I think he catches him. I think it's a tiny bit of contact. And it's enough to bring him down.
I think this is not a penalty, and I would actually be moved to scrap Hansko's yellow card and give one to Eze for a dive.
No,
he's not going to do that. But I think that is exaggerating minimal contact.
Oh, he's definitely exaggerating. I think he's clever. Nicks in, just gets caught slightly, and then he goes down like a sack of spuds.
I tell you what,
because he's trying to show that he got caught.
It's no penalty. He's going to change it. So the thing that you know, the damning evidence for Eze here is that he goes down squealing like a pig. Do you know what I mean? That is the classic footballer's guilt.
But then look, Simeone then is showing his imaginary card to Eze. Well, he's cheating. He isn't necessarily cheating. I really feel he got there first. He felt a little bit of contact. Then you go down like a sack of spuds to try and win it.
He goes down and he holds his knee as well. Like, you know, the contact's nowhere near your knee.
From the referee's point of view, yeah, he was in a bad position to give that. But you can see why it looked quite damning from where he was.
Yeah, it's obviously it's going to be a controversial moment in the night.
Well,
I think the referee's got I think the VAR has got that one right in the end, because you can't give a penalty for that. He's massively exaggerated the faintest amount of contact in the penalty area. And I think he should get a yellow card.
I think this is great because we completely disagree about it. But maybe they need 3 people in VAR and they all press a button. Do you think, or do you not?
Yeah, like the Olympic boxing judges, they're very good, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny how we've all got 2 eyes and can see, but we see different things, don't we? Anyway, it wasn't given. I know. I can see the argument. I can see why it wasn't, but I can also see why it might have been. Anyway, that's an aside, and the game carries on.
Yeah, 8 minutes plus probably now about another 3 or 4 additional minutes of stoppage time onto what we were going to have anyway, because it took a long time to sort that one out, didn't it? It took maybe 45 seconds for VAR to actually be called for, and then process maybe a minute or so before they actually sent the referee over to the sideline, then another minute before he gave his decision. So I'd say 2.5, maybe 3 minutes of extra added time. Hanchko's yellow card will stand apparently. So
yeah, because it wasn't for the foul; it was for
the protest.
Yeah, what he said, and you still can't
so
do
that. Silly boy there.
Yeah,
silly boy. As you said at the time, he was going to win nothing from the complaints.
Well, exactly. I mean, just let them sort it out. Yeah. You know, why bother? You know, it's either right or it's wrong. He felt it was wrong and clearly vindicated, but he over-argued, didn't he? Yeah, stupid that.
So. Ball out for a throw-in. Arsenal still marginally on top, if you like, in terms of having the ball, and it's in the Atleti half. Since Alex Baena has come on, by the way, he came on a few minutes ago. He's not touched the ball since he replaced.
Well, they're not any better for having him. He really is a left winger, isn't he? So it's going to be a stretch for him to support Griezmann, who've been playing deep anyway. They're really going to have to try and catch on the counter-attack. Lookman.
Mistake there by Cardoso. Won back by Arsenal. Ben White now with a chance to slip it to Eze. He does, but it's a bit late doing so. But it's been poked on towards Trossard, who gets his shot away, and it's blocked by a diving Pubil up in the air and brought down by the Belgian once more.
Bit of magic there from Eze, wasn't it? It's like just at the time you didn't want that telegraph pass, you got it from Ben White. But to counteract that, Eze immediately out of his feet and gave him a chance.
Driving towards the edge of the penalty area, tries to dump it off towards Trossard, who then fouls Griezmann. The referee says play on because Atleti are on the counter-attack, and Baena slips a lovely ball out to a Lookman, but the pace of Saliba covers across and he knocks it back down the line for Saka. Arsenal going to make a third change in it. Looks like Mosquera is the man to come on. That might be for Ben White, as Zubimendi has it centre circle now. Entering the final 5 minutes of the 90. Eze out to Gabriel Jesus. Static looking Atletico Madrid formation there. Again, it's that 5, then a sort of 5-3-2 with Lookman now still on the left hand side of the 3. Arsenal played some short passes trying to break down the Atleti defence on the left. They come back into the middle now with Rice. Looks up, doesn't see a centre forward at the moment. There's nobody there. That's what you get when Gabriel Jesus comes on. He's not going to occupy the same areas as Gyökeres, but that's a good ball out to the left-hand side. Well challenged for by Pubil, who slides in, wins the ball cleanly out for a throw to Arsenal.
Yeah, really interesting. You know, the game's very much changed now with different individuals doing different things, and like you said, it is Ben White going off and Mosquera coming on for him. Going to be a change though for Atleti too. They another throw of the dice, bringing on Nahuel Molina, who's another defender, isn't he? So yeah, they've both been very cagey about how they're going about things, you know.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see who Molina's coming on for. Another Argentinian, quite a few of them in the Atleti squad. As we're still waiting for that change to be made actually by the home side. Arsenal restart the game. Pass it back now, all the way back to Saliba inside his own half. Then he threads it forward. It's a good ball to find Eze on the half turn. Now he's breaking over to the left-hand side with the support arriving from Hincapié. Back to Eze. Looks the real focal point now, doesn't he? The ex-Crystal Palace man. He's got a chance here to set something for Mosquera. He's only just come on. His first time shot is saved by Oblak, right up in the air, headed back into the penalty area and away by Atleti. But what an impact that would have been from the Colombian with his second touch in his first shot of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And he forced a save, didn't he? It was a good underlapping run. I think Eze's been great since he's come on. Just the touches of him, bit of
Saka's
genius.
Got the better of the fullback. Ruggieri crosses deep to the back post. He's overcooked it. He's put that one in the oven for too long, and it's overcooked to the back post. But Arsenal retain possession via Gabriel, and now Nkapie looking for Gabriel Jesus, who backs in, but then the ball almost breaks to Trossard. Atleti making a meal of clearing this one before eventually a foul by Gabriel Jesus gives them a free kick.
So, yeah, I mean, that was great from Saka, and then terrible all at the same time, wasn't it? He made the little break, and then his ball severely overcooked. Black had made a good save there. He just shoved it in the air, didn't he, from Mosquera, and then it could have gone anywhere. So he's a little bit lucky. Anyway, that change being made. Cardoso, I didn't think played particularly well. Did a good job of throwing himself to the ground a few times. Molina, defender, then comes on for a midfielder, so that tells you a lot about the mindset of Simeone.
I think a draw favours Arsenal. If it was to stay this way.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we see. You know, you mentioned the Bodo Glimt, and we talked about the big turnarounds from home to away in Europe this season. It can be marked, can't it? But you know. I think, yeah, if you're on a draw, you'd fancy the Gunners to beat this. It's a decent Athletic team, but they're there to be beaten, aren't they? Really.
Great turn from Eberechi Eze. Gets away from Hansko and now plays it forward. It's just half stopped by the Athletic defence. Eze's back on his feet. Trossard now takes over for the Gunners, who are finishing strong. Can they find a winner? Now, I guess the slight advantage Atleti have got is that their weekend La Liga match means squat diddly. They're going to finish in the top four no matter what. Arsenal have got a very important game against Fulham where, you know, they're going to be potentially pushed by Fulham right through the 90 minutes. It's a long shot from Declan Rice. Is just wide as Black puts a dive in for the cameras.
Fulham are good, you know. Fulham have got problems of their own, and they're trying to bed in Oscar Bob and Josh King, who neither of them look quite ready yet. They keep giving them lots and lots of game time, and they're not quite there. But they're good. They're good. They're really well organized. He's a good manager, and that team know what they're doing. So, yeah, you can't take them easily. You just cannot. You know, they're a good side.
Goal kick from a Black. It's flicked on, collected by Gabriel. Cleared down the line. I think he might be offside here. Gabriel Jesus. The flag has stayed down for the time being, and they continue to play here. Arsenal in possession with the Brazilian, drifting across midfield, going backwards actually, before finding a Brazilian teammate in Gabriel. Now Zubimendi gets them moving forward again. As we enter the final few seconds of the 90 minutes, still Arsenal on top, closing out the game here with Gabriel on the ball. Sideways to Rice. Rice looks up, sees the press from Baena, moves it sideways to Saliba, and now Zubimendi. Arsenal penning Atleti back. Simeone fighting for every loose ball like he's still a player. Ball inside from Saka, reaches Eze, the danger man, pretty central. Turns on the ball, almost slips, but then regains his footing, finds Zubimendi, then it's played wide to the left. Nkapie, edge of the box, gets an early ball in towards the back post. It might come all the way through to Saka. Saka on his left foot now. Sets it up now for a shot from Rice. It's blocked by Lookman. Comes back to Saliba, who tries to carry it forward, the Frenchman. Still going down the right channel. Then chops back and goes back to the safe area of Rice. Eze again, moving forward menacingly, but then got crowded out by three red and white shirts. Now there could be a counter-attack on here as Eze almost put his hands on Baena and gave away a free kick. Baena hurdles that challenge and keeps going for the home side. Finds a route to Llorente. They go all the way back now. We're going to play 7 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game. Could still go either way.
There could still be a goal, and if there is, whoever gets it will be absolutely delighted, won't they? You feel like you've nicked it. It has been an arm wrestle. The game's been about two or three penalty decisions, and one good save from David Raya, really. So it's as tough as I thought it was going to be. The usual prospects or suspects showed up. The fact that Julian Alvarez picked up an injury and may miss the second leg might be the biggest thing that's happened in this first leg.
Long clearance from Black up towards Griezmann, but headed away by Nkapie. Picks by Zubimendi, who just tips it on towards Trossard. Trossard gets it under control. Now starts to move forward. Pass was a little bit behind Nkapie, but he does well. Keeps it in Arsenal's possession. Eze now in the sort of centre forward position, just behind Gabriel Jesus, who is now occupying that central role. Eze now comes short, plays it back to Gabriel, the defender, looks up, can he switch it out to the right where Bukayo Saka is pointing, but Arsenal keep it short, go back into the feet of Eberechieza. Now it's with Saliba out to Bukayo Saka again, quick challenge comes in from Ruggieri, it's a good one, and it goes out for a throw in to Atleti.
Yeah, I thought he scraped it off Saka, so good work from him. Yeah, and Simeone for once looks quite calm, doesn't he, in his technical area, but he kicks every ball, doesn't he? So Arteta, we haven't seen much of him tonight. I think at the moment he'd be relatively pleased, won't he? Yeah, they, they're up against a decent team, but they've kept them pretty quiet. They've created bits and pieces. I think a draw probably deserves the game. We might not get that though.
Yeah, Atleti now attacking down the right hand side, crossing towards the back post, is headed back by Bayern towards the far post, and Lookman couldn't get the extra centimetres required to get the flick header towards goal, and Arsenal clear.
Yeah, these guys need Cuban heels, don't they? They're just not tall enough, are they? I think even when Bayern has come on, I think he's about 5'8", 5'9". Alvarez, 5'8", I think. Griezmann's not big. Lookman's not big. It's an obvious thing to say, but they do lack size about them. When they go long, it's a bit of a struggle. That's great from Lookman into the box. He goes, but that's well read too by Saliba.
Yeah, and good pass out of defence there as well. But it's as has been robbed, and there's a chance here for Atletico Madrid as the ball's played wide. And a shot comes in just over the bar. Fizzing shot there from the edge of the penalty area from Molina, and he's claiming a corner, but the referee doesn't agree.
Yeah, did David Raya have it covered? Anyway, ball given away there, and he comes. It's a thumping shot. Might be fingertips off Raya there, but it was close. He ran onto it well, tried to keep it down, went for power. Still not sure whether it got tipped or not.
Yeah, either took a slight glance off the short leg of the Arsenal defender in front of him, or the tip of Raya's goalie gloves, but it wouldn't have been much of a contact. The referee didn't give a goal kick taken by the Spanish keeper. It's flicked on by Gabriel Jesus, then booted away by Ruggieri. Griezmann gets there, but can only nod it towards Rice. Now Zubimendi brings it down well. Tries to feed Bukayo Saka, who turns away from Ruggieri and gets some room to run it down the right-hand side, but quickly tracked back by Llorente. He hurdles that challenge, slips it inside. Arsenal got an overload on the left if they can get it there through Trossard and Eze towards Nkapie. Fires a low ball in, Eze controls it, then Trossard with a snapshot, miskicks it. Nkapie still going, but he's just blocked out by some good defending from Molina. He's picked up by Oblak.
Well, that's why he brought on a defender, eh? He shepherded the ball back to his keeper pretty well there, didn't he? And they were under massive pressure there as he moved the ball well. Saka got the better, didn't he? A little bit of magic from him. He'd been fairly quiet since he'd come on. Like I said, draw probably suits this game.
Yeah, Arsenal led at half-time. Atleti struck back. We had that controversial moment when Arsenal were awarded a penalty only for VAR to overturn it. I'm sure that'll be a huge talking point afterwards. Could be a major turning point in the tie if Atleti turn up at the Emirates next week. Arsenal, though, will be favourites to go through from this position. And they're giving it one last go with an attack down the left-hand side. Nkapie's cross is closed down. And now Llorente should tidy up with the ball back to Molina. Pressure on Pubil. Gets it away. And the referee's given a free kick for a foul. A needless foul as well from an Arsenal player. I think it was Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, that should pretty much signal the end of Arsenal's attacking intent, because Atleti will want to make this free kick with the last one and just float a long ball into the box, won't they? So they're aware of time and game management now. We won't see much after this.
One ball forward from the keeper, headed clear by Nkapie. Gabriel Jesus trying to turn, can't feed Trossard, but well picked up now by Zubimendi. Zubimendi advances down the left-hand side, then gets corralled by Atleti. It's out for a throw. Referee might have actually given the free kick for an earlier incident on Gabriel Jesus. It is going to be a free kick to Arsenal, so this will tell us what they feel about the scoreline? They're not going to send lots of bodies forward for this free kick. They're happy just to play it short to midfield and take the 1-1.
Yeah, they've got nobody big up top, have they, anyway? So, well, it's a good ball to Eze, but the referee's seen enough. And so there we go. We've reached the end of the first leg. Honours even. Atletico Madrid 1, Arsenal 1. Thanks for joining us.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not